Hello everybody, you're very welcome to this week's edition of This Racing Life. I am of course here at Dundalk Stadium ahead of the Irish EBF Barrier Trials, one of the big success stories in the last couple of years in Irish racing. Also in this episode, Neil Callan is settling back into life in the UK after his very successful stint in Hong Kong and is looking to the future.
I'm coming home. I've been away a long time, and you know, at the end of the day, there's no place like home. And although I'm Irish, but Newmarket's been my home for so long.
Will Carver is just starting out on his racing career, and Jess Stafford visited Kingsclear to catch up on his progress.
Obviously all the riders that have come through, you know, always helping them out. Dave Probert, Shane Murphy, you know, Rob Hornby, they've all been through and they, you know, have helped us all out.
And we are back at Banstead Manor for a closer look at Juddmonte Farm's roster of stallions.
It's very interesting that Chad Brown and his team came over here and targeted the sales and actually took an awful lot of the Kingmans back to America. And so, yeah, it's a very exciting time.
But first, a closer look at what goes on here behind the scenes at the Barrier Trials at Dundalk. Barrier Trials have been a big success story in Irish racing in recent season. Last year, Thunder Moon, the National Stakes winner, he trialled here prior to going on to win that Group 1 at Curragh. Ottoman Emperor, Ren's Brett, countless amount of winners have come out of it. We're going to catch up with the team of ITM and various trainers and jockeys to see what it takes to win a barrier trial.
We just thought they've worked in other parts of the world so well for so long. It's hard to replicate exactly what happens in other countries, but we thought we'd give it a go here. So the board of ITM and HRI agreed to let us have a stab at it a few years ago. Started here before racing at Dundalk back in 2018. The first day we couldn't get enough horses to go. That was embarrassing. And then the next time we just about scraped together a few to run, say, a dozen horses before racing here. And then the first two of those that ran actually won. So then sort of people started to take notice. And then we had them in Naas for a couple of trials in 2019. And then that was when Dundalk has been redeveloped or resurfaced. And 2 days last year with the first year COVID, and then 3 this year. So yeah, numbers-wise, they've improved since we started.
And Jeremy, not only have the numbers improved, the quality is there. We've seen last year likes of Thunder Moon, etc., performing very well in barrier trials before going on to win in Stakes Company.
Yeah, that's right. That was a big bonus for us. Case of You, he was good in a trial here, and then he's won a couple of Group 3s, second in the Flying 5. John McConnell had him first and then went to Ada McGuinness.
And it's a great experience for horses, but it's also a showcase for trade. You get a lot of horses getting bought and sold after this.
Yeah, that's the idea. In particular, like, we'd love if they could get sold unraced, because particularly say for Hong Kong, there's a big market there. There's double the amount of permits for an unraced horse, so it'd be great if we could get more sold there. But you also see that horses benefit from the experience. They come alive after it, and they do possibly better in debut than they might have otherwise without the trial. So there was one horse there a couple of weeks ago at Navan who didn't trial well here at all the last day back in the middle of August, one of Gavin Cromwell's, and went back in distance at Navan and, you know, won first up, and I believe there's interest in her. So that kind of thing is good to see. She was called Giselle's Aussie, and yeah, so, you know, there's benefits hopefully across the board.
And this is the third and final trial of 2021, and you must be delighted how things have gone and how it's built over the last 3 years.
I think we've had 230 horses across the 3 days. Over 50 stables have sent us runners, so we're very grateful to all the connections for that. Very grateful to the Irish EBF for their sponsorship, and there'll be a lot of people to thank as well, Fran, who've helped us out. Obviously, jockeys, trainers, owners sending their horses to Dundalk Stadium, the IHRB for the regulatory side, stalls handlers. Hope I'm not forgetting anyone out. Iris as well for doing the footage as well, and my own colleagues at ITM, especially Alex, who's done all the video for us.
Any future ideas?
There might be some tweaks to it. We want to see how many horses are being sold or otherwise, so we will try and keep it going next year, provided everybody agrees. But yeah, we'd sort of watch this space, but it wouldn't be until probably June next year we could go again, hopefully have the same number of days, maybe more, but you know, we'll open to all suggestions.
I say I wouldn't have been sold on them before I came here, started doing them last year. I think I've done all the COVID the COVID barrier trials, if you like. But no, I suppose initially I would have sort of, as a punter, I would have treated them as such. And some of the horses we had here last year, I mean, Thunder Moon came out of here, won a Group 1, won a maiden at a big price at the Curragh. A Case of You, he came out here, won a Group 3, nearly won a Group 1 there on on Sunday. It's it's both as initially as a punter, but then as a, if you like, as a purist with the quality of horses that came out.
And there has been a great quality horse on a lot of sales done as well. Ottoman Emperor being a notable one. He raced here for Cormac Farrell. OTI Racing bought him, and he's done great for Johnny Murtagh.
Yeah, absolutely. And a couple of others this year. Funnily enough, I think the 3-year-olds trialists have been as good this year as the 2-year-old trialists. We had one here where the colt of Joseph's, whose name I've conveniently forgotten, came out and won a maiden here by a dozen lengths the next day, and Wren's Breath was second, came out and was second in the trial here, won a listed race at Nice. So the quality is not diminished, I think, this year, even though we haven't had the same maybe level of big race winners.
Seems to be a great benefit to the industry, both for selling horses and showing up horses as well, and as you said, from a punting and farm point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been surprising, but I think it's been a great initiative, and I'm completely sold on them anyway, Fran.
We'll be back at Dundalk shortly, but first of all, Jess Stafford is catching up with jockey Neil Callan, of course, who had a hugely successful time in Hong Kong, and he's now back in the UK.
You left on a high. You were, the top 5 over here. Kevin Ryan, a huge supporter, riding Group 1 winners for him. Roger Varian as well was pretty much just starting. So you've seen his trajectory. He's just continued to go up and up, as is Kevin's. Where are you now with those contacts, and who are your contacts, and what happens next for you as a jockey?
Well, obviously I'm happy to be home. I really am. Like, I think we've been away a long time, and my kids are getting older, so my older kids now are ready to come back and take their next step into what they want to do. So I want to respect them and what they're going to do. And my oldest wants to be a jockey, and if that's what he wants to be, then I'll support him. If he doesn't want to be, and he doesn't have to be, whatever, I'll support them whatever they want to do, all of them. I've come back, I've kept my fitness up to a high level. I'm riding a lot of track work for the sort of trainers, and actually it's not all been bad, because it's given me a chance to be able to go in on foot and go and meet, so I've met up with Sean Woods, who I used to ride a lot for before I went to Hong Kong, and I rode for him when he was in Hong Kong and he was training. So I went round and saw his new stable, which is pretty impressive. He's had a really good start to his career back in the UK.
Yeah.
And then going to see James Tay and going to see Clive Britton, who I rode a lot of winners for.
Yeah.
A lot of big winners for, and just going to say hello to these people as well.
There must be a lot of new people as well. Like Newmarket, obviously there's new trainers all the time, but 10 years ago, I don't know if even Oisin Murphy was even race riding. There are people, the weighing room has obviously changed. The amount of trainers has changed as well. Has that been quite interesting, exciting to meet a lot of new people and just get back into the grips of UK racing? Yeah,
I'm sure it will. Look, everybody respects each other in England when you're riding, UK riding. There's been a lot of changing of the guard, because, when I was a kid, it was like Frankie, Richard Hills, Pat Edry, John Reid, Kieran Fallon. Yeah. So a lot of top jockeys that I used to look up to. And Frankie's probably the last one left.
Well, John Egan, he's still there.
Oh, John Egan's here, yeah. But
yeah.
As a kid, when I was coming up, the top, the champions,
Yeah.
So Oisin, I think, was starting to ride when I was leaving. So, but obviously I've watched UK racing nearly every day while I've been away. I haven't just dropped off it.
Right.
And I've obviously got my Racing Post account, so I watch replays all the time. So, I've kept in contact with UK racing for the last 10 years, and I've seen the change. A lot of young trainers coming through, George Bowie, George Scott, a lot of young and good trainers as well, very clued up. You see Simon Christopher is teamed up with his son Ed, and then you got John Gosling with his son Tatey. So, I think it's for the good. There's a lot of very clever young trainers coming through, and it'll be good to come back as a new face, as they say. It'll be like a new face, like a new jockey. So.
Yeah, well, you sound very enthusiastic about coming back. Obviously, you've at the height of everything, but how do you feel the state of UK racing is now that you're coming in? Are you positive about it?
I think from watching afar, there's been a lot of people saying, "Oh, why do you want to come back here? The prize money's terrible. The racing's not good. It's 7 days a week." And I thought, well, I'm coming home. I've been away a long time, and at the end of the day, there's no place like home. And although I'm Irish, but Newmarket's been my home for so long. And so I call this home now. And my family grew up here, and my wife's family are all here. So, but, you know, looking at the state of British racing, I think it's gone through its worst period. Like, I mean, I was on the Jockeys Association board before I left. So these were issues that we were having then. And there's still issues. So obviously, it hasn't gone back to what it was. So, but I do see something that it's starting to just change slightly with the racing league. And, you know, it seems like they're starting to try and put carnivals together throughout the season, which is like the way the Australian system is. The prize money, I'm not going to sit here and compare to Hong Kong because I cannot. What I was earning in Hong Kong is not on the same level. But I know what to expect. I've ridden here for 20 plus years before I came, so I know what to expect. So I know how I'm going to deal with it.
It seems like, I would imagine, younger jockeys in their early 20s who are probably doing well enough here, enjoying it, but probably are looking outside of what more can we do, what more can I do to improve my race riding, probably will look at you and think, you know, that's punchy, it's ballsy, but it improves you as an athlete, and that will probably be interesting. There'll be a lot of young guys looking to you for advice and things like that.
Yeah, look, you know, anybody approaches me, I've always kept myself to myself, so I'm, you know, and I'm friendly to anyone, so, you know, I get on with anyone, most people. So yeah, look, any young jockeys out there, come and ask me for advice, of course I'm going to give it, you know. Obviously when I was 10 years younger, I wouldn't, because we'd be competitors, so, you know,
of course,
you know, but I'm still going to be a competitor, but, you know, go wherever you can to improve your riding skill, because it'll improve you so much you won't understand.
I can imagine.
And this is the advice.
Yeah, I can totally
it
imagine
improves
that.
You as a jockey.
Well, it's been a really busy day here at Dundalk. 10 trials have been run. We've seen some promising horses on the track. It's now time to catch up with a couple of trainers and jockeys to explore the benefits of this initiative in Irish racing.
I think they're a wonderful idea. They're particularly well run, and it's a great opportunity to get these horses out, let people see them, and to get them sold. So they're progressing well, and every time they seem to get better.
Yeah, they become more prominent. People are more aware of them now, and there is being trade done.
Yeah, I think so, and they're well supported by all the trainers, and you can see by the races they're well truly run. It's a great opportunity, and particularly when you want to get those horses away and to go back to the track then and run first runs. It's great to have had a day out here with them, you know, and you can get a pecking order on them and sort them out.
You do indeed, and of course here at Dundalk, surface is fantastic. It's consistent. It really suits people to engage the ability of the horses based on times and visually as well.
Yeah, I think so. The consistency is the main thing, you know, and the surface is fantastic now since they upgraded it last year. So as you said, people trust it, and they'll buy horses, and the form is working out really well off it. So that's all important.
Didn't really expect to see trainer Henry de Bromhead here, of course, ahead of the winter season. But Henry, you've used these trials at Dundalk to good effect in the past.
Yeah, we have. You know, they're very beneficial for them. We just use it as an education, and they probably get, you know, they learn so much out of them. So we found them really good, yeah.
You've had some good results. Ren's Brett, Katina Zapata winning in the past out of these trials.
Yeah, very much so. Ren's Brett was really good. She went and won her listed at Nace. And Katina, yeah, you know, he won his maiden back here after his barrier. So, like I say, they're beneficial. They get a nice education, and we find it stands to them. And does be trade done over? Katina was bought by OTI Racing after winning his maiden. Yeah, he was, you know, and I certainly think he was spotted in his trials. So, yeah, it like I say, you know, they are beneficial. Yeah.
Fran, they're a great initiative. I've ridden for Henry a lot today, and the last trial and the trial before, so I've ridden a couple of nice horses. They're a great way for people to come and look at them that want to buy them for unraced to go out for, and they're a great way of educating horses as well and getting a nice run into them. And There's been proper horses that have ran up here. A couple of the ones that I've ridden in previous times have been sold, and I rode a nice Elzam for Henry today. So yeah, busy. I've still a couple more to go, but I couldn't speak highly enough of them. They're running a sound surface, so you know exactly what you're getting.
That, of course, was batch 6 Star Girls Almal.
Yeah.
Looks a really nice filly.
She's well related. Henry said he bought her quite reasonably, and she's going to be a nice asset for him. Whatever she does this year will be a bonus, but look, she's after basically having a run here today, and she quickened up and won it nice, so she could be a filly with a bright future.
Definitely looked at there, and Chris, you ride for a wide variety of trainers at all different levels. It's a very good showcase for some of these people to try and sell horses as well as gain experience.
Exactly, and like I said, a couple of clients would like to buy them unraced or have them as maidens. They might be more valuable for them, so it's a great way of doing it. You can see exactly what's happening, times, all of us fully fledged professionals riding them, and the apprentices as well. So look, I'd love to see it, more of them, and maybe for good horses, you know, like they do in Australia, to get horses that have raced. It'd be a nice way of getting people to get more interacted with our game, and you could see real good horses, like if Aidan and Mr. Weld and Jesse were sending horses here, rather than running them in a stakes race early on in the year, running them in a trial. It'd be a nice way of doing things.
More from Dundalk shortly, but now for a young jockey taking the tried and tested route as an apprentice with Andrew Balding, Jess Stafford is talking to Will Carver.
I've been riding ponies all my life and stuff like that. I came here when I was 16 when I left school. I'd done a load of pony racing and went to the British Racing School, and I actually won a week's work experience here, and then I liked it, so I came back and then left school and started here full time, and then I've been here 5 years now. I've been apprentice for about 3.5, and yeah, no, really enjoying it.
So was it a bit of luck just that you won that work experience? That's amazing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a bit of luck, and then I you know, it's obviously a good place for apprentices to come, and you know, I liked it here when I came before, and then I came again another week, and then they offered me a job here for when I left school.
And what is it about Parkhouse Stables, about Kingsfield, about the whole operation that makes it so unique and so special? Yeah,
I think obviously there's so many horses here now, and so many different gallops that you can ride on. Andrew's not scared to let you ride the good horses and the bad horses as well, so you get a good variety of you know, horses, and then obviously all the riders that have come through you know, are always helping you out. Dave Probert, Sheen Murphy, you know, Rob Hornby, they've all been through, and they, you know, have helped us all out, and then obviously help with sort of like the hostel and stuff like that, you know, with having meals cooked for us, and the fitness lady that comes in twice a week, you know, everything like that really helps you along.
So for a young jockey apprentice trying to make your name and make your way through, this is an incredible place to kind of sort of nurture your talents and like build on your strengths and your weaknesses. Is that fair to say? Yeah,
definitely, and obviously that, you know, like I say, there's so much help here, and so many different horses, and the jockey coach comes in, John Reed, and yeah, you know.
Tell me a bit more about your season. This whole year for this yard has been pretty special, but for you in particular, you had a great Goodwood Festival winner as well. Like racing up big stage days, that must be really important for you.
Yeah, it is, and obviously that I lost my £5 claim that day as well, so it's the next step on the ladder, and you need big winners like that on, you know, the big stages to get your name out there and help you along. And it was really nice that Andrew lets me ride horses like that. I had another big winner on Guinea's Day on Bell Rock as well, so it's all sort of stepping stones to becoming a professional, and now I'm a £3 claimer. It's taking that next step up the ladder, you know.
And a horse like Udalali, who you won on that day, he's now rated in the low hundreds as well, and just being able to, as you say, keep those rides and proving your worth. That's really important.
Exactly, and you know, taking weight off a horse like that has obviously really helped him, and he's crept his way up the handicap. So claiming £5 then was really obviously valuable on the day, and it really probably helped him get his head in front that day, and he's only crept up a little bit in the weights for that win. So hopefully he can run in another handicap and I can get on him again. So
yeah, and for you for the rest of the season, we've got 6 weeks after the proper season. But what will you do when it comes to like the winter months, and how will you keep yourself ticking through? Yeah,
I mean, I haven't really thought about that yet. I'm just sort of trying to get through my season, you know, with as many winners as I can for different trainers and things like that. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. I say I'll stick around a bit. I haven't actually been away before for a winter. I've always sort of worked out that it's just the way it's worked out. I've never been away, and perhaps I will go away this winter, but maybe I'll just keep working my way up the ladder. And now I'm a £3 claimer, keep those contacts here. And obviously the all-weather racing is so big now. You can keep going for the whole season, and you can do well from it as well. So.
And we've seen so many apprentices doing really well, like Marco Gianni's had an incredible season. You've seen like what Kieran Fallon has done, and trying to get those like big owners to get connected with as well. Did they give you a lot of sort of inspiration?
I think so, and you know, I think getting a good connection with an owner now is just as good as getting a good connection with the trainer. I think that really does help, and obviously people like that, Kieran Fallon, Marco Gianni, they've sort of done really well, flew through their claim, and someone like me who's just sort of taking my time through my claim, just building up contacts with different owners and different trainers, I think is the key. And obviously there's so many owners here at Park House that you can ride for the same owners that are here but for different stables, so it helps you out a lot.
What's your aim for the end of the year?
My aim for the end of the year would just be to, you know, keep trying to ride winners and try and ride for different trainers. I've actually got a new agent now who's doing really well for me, and we're just trying to branch out and get some different trainers and new contacts. I don't think I'm setting myself too many aims. I just want to, obviously with COVID last year, everything was a bit steadier, and it's all been a bit smoother this year, and you know, hopefully we can just get more winners and more contacts.
Joined now by Bloodstock agent Cathy Grassick here back at Dundalk. Cathy, these barrier trials have been a really good initiative in Irish racing the last couple of years.
They're a wonderful initiative by ITM, I have to say. It was really, you know, something that was needed. It's been brilliant, particularly the fact that they have managed to keep them going during COVID has been a wonderful testament to the resourcefulness of our industry, and it's also made sure that horses can still be offered for sale and are given an experience, a valuable experience before going to the racetrack. So it's such a wonderful thing, and it's so great to see that the trainers have all supported it so well, and there's so many entries all the time. It's a brilliant resource, and I've heard nothing but good feedback from everybody.
And there's been a great trade done out of it as well. You've got clients abroad in America and in Asia. You can showcase it here at Dundalk. It's a consistent surface. Everything's timed. It must be a great way to put horses in the spotlight.
Absolutely, it's been brilliant. You know, the video, the quality of the feedback that we're able to bring to clients, and we're able to showcase horses that, you know, to people all across the world. You know, Australia, America, Hong Kong, as you said, you know, the Asian market, and particularly for Southern Hemisphere and Asian clients who are used to seeing barrier trials. You know, it's been such a big thing as part of the racing there, and I spent some time working there for both English and Magic Millions, so I was very familiar with the concept. So I was big in support of this, and it's great to see how well it's been embraced, and it's definitely something that we've stepped up ahead of the game in Europe and really brought this to the marketplace, and I think it's really paying off for everybody involved.
So in other parts of the world, barrier trials are well established as a way of bringing horses on in the early part of their career and tuning them up for a day at the races. So we established them here in Ireland, principally as a way of showcasing the unraced horses that we have here and bringing them to an international market across the world. So it's brilliant the way they've developed since 2018 when they were first established. And these days we're having 10 trials per day, perhaps over 80 horses running, and some real quality on show.
There is indeed, and some great results come out of it, and of course this is shown on YouTube Live, and it's very well showcased. All the replays are readily available for people to have a look.
Yeah, we've really tried to build up the marketing side of it over the years and enhance the media coverage. So as you say, we have a live stream going out on YouTube, which is watched by people all over the world, from Australia to America to Hong Kong, etc. And between all of our marketing efforts, it brings those buyers to Ireland, and this is a kind of a different shop window for Irish horses to get them sold across the world.
What's the feedback been from them buyers?
The feedback is great, I have to say. Like I say, this is like a different shop window for Irish horses. So traditionally people can go to the sales, they can buy horses as yearlings, they can buy horses as breeze up horses, they can buy horses in training. So this is just another platform for us to showcase the quality of Irish horses and to give trainers, I suppose, the opportunity to get their horses out there in the public eye and showcase them to an international market.
Juddmonte Farm's roster of stallions is the envy of the Bloodstock world, and recently Jess Stafford went along to Bandstand Manor Stud outside Newmarket to catch up with the General Manager Simon Mockridge.
But Kingman and with Frankel, both of them, the popularity and the success that they're having further afield, but Kingman especially in America, he's been received very, very well.
Yeah, if you look at him this year, he's got 3 of the top milers, one in Europe, in Palace Pier, and he's got Schnellmeister in Japan, one of the leading milers there, and he's got Domestic Spending in America, who looks to be an extremely good horse. And it's very interesting that Chad Brown and his team came over here and targeted the sales and actually took an awful lot of the Kingmans back to America. And so, yeah, it's very exciting times, and he seems to handle the tracks there. He likes the fast ground, so it's all big positives.
Yeah, massively so. And a horse that did really handle the tracks in America, your new sire is Expert Eye, and we've seen him today. He looks magnificent. How has he adapted to his new career?
Yeah, we're delighted with him. He's got his first yearlings this year, so really big test. But you know, in his first 3 seasons at studs, he was very, very well supported. And if you look at the male line and look at Acclamation and how well he's done with Dark Angel and Memas, and I would say the future looks very good for him. He's a well-bred horse. Physically, he's very strong. He's easy to breed to. He was a very, very good 2-year-old, and then winning the Breeders' Cup on top, and that's not taking into account what a good run he put in the Jersey Stakes at Royal Ascot. So, you know, it's exciting. It's nice to have him alongside these.
Yeah, he's a unique horse because as a racehorse he was slightly different to the likes of Kingman and to Frankel. So you've got a good range for, you know, breeders and potential purchasers to sort of look at the Juddmonte roster and say, this gives us something else that I can't really match outside of Juddmonte Moors.
It's very important to have a balanced roster, and you know, we're fortunate enough here that we've got 5 stallions. We've got the 2 elite, what I call the elite horses, and everyone refers to. But the 3 horses underneath are fundamental to our business. You know, Bated Breath is a good commercial, hard-knocking sire, and as we saw the other day when Sacred Bridge won the Ballyhane, a very valuable Ballyhane in Ireland, his stock are also very versatile, and again he is making a name for himself in America, where they like the very hard, firm tracks and are very capable. So you know, he is a solid horse, and that's the kind of horse that breeders like to use.
Yeah, and we touched on Oasis Dream as well, who remarkably at his age of 21 still covering over 100 mares and seems to be thriving as well on the racetrack and in his own condition.
Yeah, I'm too terrified to say to His Highness's family that perhaps he's nearing retirement, because I don't know what I'm going to do with him. He's a horse that thrives on the breeding shed, and you know, he's a great broodmare sire now, and that's where his future lies. Obviously, his sons have done well at stud. Showcasing is a prime example of that. But he's an influential stallion. He's a great broodmare sire, and at his fee level, he's a great introduction to a new mare going to stud.
Yeah. So you've got a real lovely, healthy balance here of commercial, the quality, range, depth. It must be, standing here and looking around, it must be a very pleasing, satisfying place to be at the moment at Juddmonte.
It's an incredibly welcoming job to be in. And I'm very fortunate that I've worked for a family for as many years as I had, and that they've tolerated me more than anything else. But you know, the stallion roster is powerful, and anybody would love to work here. The one thing I will say, this is a team effort. You know, we're a small part of what Juddmonte is. You know, Banstead Manor, just because it's the home of the stallions, gets all of the focus. But without the other intrinsic parts, and that's you know, the stud farms that we have in the UK, 5 stud farms in the UK, the great job that Barry Marn and his team do in Ireland, both breaking and rearing the young stock when they go over there from winning, and Garrett O'Rourke in America. It's without everything and coming together, it just wouldn't be as successful.
Thanks to everybody who took part in this edition of This Racing Life. We hope you enjoyed the show. More from us next week.